Good morning, people. Good morning. So today we are going to see about the introduction to web services, a part of the service-oriented architecture. So speaking about the first question, what's a service? Service is the primary goal of us. I mean, the primary goal of a service is to represent a natural step of business functionality. So technically, a service is a software component, and a service is an interface for multiple messages that return information and change the state of an entity, associate entity, the kind of the backend. The operation defines in the interface carried out business functions. And speaking about the services, services is available across a network. The next is a web service because this is precise about the web service. So the web service is a network accessible interface for the application functionality. So and what could be the functionality which the web services provide us? Over the internet or intranet, a programmable URL, and the functions you can call over the internet. Next is what's a web service? It's a software module, like a kind of a software module that will have an URL or will have an internet address. So throwing that it can be accessed. So once the web service makes a request of another web service to perform its task, and the answer will be created. What is it? It will be creating a highly distributed system. So using the XML-based messages via internet-based protocols, that is how it works out. And the web services are latest distributed technologies. And yes, you could see the web service is pretty simplified. You'll have the application code on the one side and the application client on the other side. So we have an interface, the platform and the language specific, and the platform and the language agnostic. So this is how the web service acts as an interface between the application code and the application client. Next, speaking about the web service, what are the web standards it works with this? It works with the HTTP, XML, SOAP, WSDL, and UDDI. And yes, so these are the components of web service. The SAP, the standard way of communication, the XML, the uniform data representation, and WSDL, a standard meta language, and UDDI. So it's to locate and register the WS-based applications. And yes, what you can just watch is this is the typical web service architecture. It will have the three things: the service registry, the service provider, and the service consumer. So it's like they just work on with the publish, the find, and the bind. So these are the three things it acts as interface. And yes, the framework. If we speak about the framework, what it can is it can include the one or more architectures, the technologies, the concepts, the models, and the sub-frameworks. This is all the collection of the framework. It's called as objects. And yes, the web services framework. The web services framework, what it has done is, it's an abstract concept which is defined by standards. It's the core building blocks and include web services and the communication agreement center account based on this WSDL. And also it's a kind of a messaging framework which is composed or comprised of technologies and concepts. And still it is going ahead. And it's a service description, sometimes relies through UDDI. It's a well-defined architecture that supports messaging patterns. Yes, it definitely supports good messaging patterns. And a second generation of web services, it's called as WS specifications, continuously broadening. And yes, this is a relational structure. What you can make out is you have the introducing SOA, the fundamental SOA, the web services. And one of the things is how services encapsulate, that is the services within web services. How services relate, that is a service description with WSDL, sorry, and how services communicate through the messaging with SOAP. So all this forms the relational structure. And yes, the main key point what we gather is it's like the first and second generation technologies along with design agnostic concepts and implementation of neutral architectures. So what it does, it forms an abstract web services framework. It is a framework. The frameworks can generally aligns with the core characteristics of the primary SOA. So this is considered to be one big key point, and this is how the basic things ends up about web services. Thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you.